Hello everyone. Welcome back to EchoMind English. I am Emma, your host for today. If you are new here, I would like to tell you that we upload a new English learning video every day on our channel to help you improve your English faster. Imagine this for a moment. You walk into a coffee shop in London, New York, or Sydney. The barista smiles and asks, "So, how's your day going?" You want to answer with confidence, but your mind freezes. You know the words, but they don't come out naturally. Has this ever happened to you? If it has, then you're in the right place. Today, we begin a powerful journey, the C1 Advanced English Fluency Masterclass. This is not just about learning vocabulary or grammar. This is about training your mind and your tongue to think and speak in English every single day, naturally and smoothly. Now, let me ask you, why do some learners spend years studying English but still feel stuck, while others make fast progress and sound almost native? The difference is practice. Not just any practice, but the right kind of practice, daily speaking practice, designed for fluency, clarity, and confidence. That's exactly what we'll do together here. In this lesson, you'll listen, repeat, and speak along with me. You'll build fluency step by step, sentence by sentence, until speaking English feels like second nature. Let's start with a simple but powerful exercise. I want you to repeat after me. Don't just listen, speak. Say it out loud. Even if you are alone in your room, your voice matters. Ready? Let's go. I can speak English clearly. I can think in English. My English is improving every single day. Say it again. This time with energy. I can speak English clearly. I can think in English. My English is improving every single day. Good. Do you feel the difference when you speak with energy? Speaking English is not only about the words, it's about rhythm, tone, and confidence. And that's what we'll practice together. Now, let me give you a situation. Imagine you meet a friend on the street. You haven't seen each other for weeks. They ask you, "What's new with you?" How do you answer? Many learners get nervous and say only, "Nothing much." But at the C1 level, you need to expand. You can say, "Actually, I've been working on a new project at my job." Or, "I've been practicing English every day, and I feel more confident now." Notice how natural that sounds. Let's try it together. Repeat after me. Actually, I've been working on a new project at my job. Actually, I've been practicing English every day, and I feel more confident now. Did you hear the rhythm? The flow? That's what we are building. The natural flow of English conversation. Here's another exercise. I'll give you a short story, and you will shadow me. That means you speak at the same time as I do, copying my tone and speed. Don't worry if you miss a word. Just keep going. Ready? Here's the story. Yesterday, I woke up early, made a cup of coffee, and started reading a new book. Later in the day, I met a friend for lunch. We talked about travel, work, and our future plans. It was a simple day, but I enjoyed every moment. Let's do it again. Slowly this time. Repeat after me. Yesterday, I woke up early, made a cup of coffee, and started reading a new book. Later in the day, I met a friend for lunch. We talked about travel, work, and our future plans. It was a simple day, but I enjoyed every moment. Very good. Do you feel how natural that sounds? This is daily English speaking practice, the kind that prepares you for real conversations. When you practice stories like this, you don't just learn words, You train your brain to connect ideas in English without translating from your language. Now, let's add some advanced expressions. At the C1 level, you want to sound more polished, more professional. Instead of saying, "I'm tired," you can say, "I'm completely exhausted." Instead of, "I'm happy," you can say, "I'm absolutely delighted." Let's practice. I'm completely exhausted. I'm absolutely delighted. This book is incredibly interesting. That experience was truly unforgettable. Do you see the difference? These words add power and emotion to your English. They make you sound like someone who has mastered the language. But here's the secret. Fluency is not about using big words. Fluency is about speaking smoothly, connecting your ideas, and keeping the conversation alive. That's why I want you to practice with me every day. Not once a week, every single day. Because your mouth, your brain, and your memory need daily exercise, just like your muscles. Now, let's practice a real-life situation together. Imagine you're in a meeting at work. Someone asks you, "What do you think about this project?" How do you respond? At C1 level, you can say, "In my opinion, this project has a lot of potential, but we need to plan more carefully. From my perspective, it's a great idea, but we should consider the budget first." Repeat with me. In my opinion, this project has a lot of potential, but we need to plan more carefully. From my perspective, it's a great idea, but we should consider the budget first. Excellent. That's the type of practice that prepares you for professional English, the kind that opens doors in your career. Before we finish this first part, I want to remind you, fluency is a journey. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep speaking, keep practicing, and keep improving. And here, at EchoMind English, I will guide you step by step until speaking English feels natural, easy, and enjoyable. So, take a deep breath. You've already started your Advanced English Fluency Masterclass. And trust me, if you stay with me until the end of this series, you'll surprise yourself with how much progress you make. Let's continue in the next part. Welcome back to the C1 Advanced English Fluency Masterclass. In Part 1, we warmed up your speaking muscles and practiced some real-life situations. Now, in Part 2, we'll go even deeper. Today, we're going to focus on building confidence in conversations, expanding your vocabulary with natural expressions, and training your ear to understand English the way native speakers really use it. Let's begin with a question. Imagine you're sitting in a cafe, and someone asks you, "So, what do you do in your free time?" How would you answer? Many learners hesitate here. They know the words, but they sound flat, or their answers are too short. To sound fluent, you need more than just words. You need to paint a picture with your language. Let me show you. Instead of saying, "I read books," you can say, "In my free time, I love diving into different kinds of books. Sometimes it's a novel that takes me to another world, and other times it's a book about psychology or history that makes me think differently." Notice how much richer that sounds. You're giving detail. You're inviting the other person into your world. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. In my free time, I love diving into different kinds of books. Sometimes it's a novel that takes me to another world. Other times, it's a book about psychology or history that makes me think differently. Now, you try saying it in one flow, without stopping. Ready, go. Very good. That's how you start sounding natural in conversation. Next, let's practice listening and responding quickly. I'll say a sentence, and I want you to reply with a natural answer. Don't think too much, just respond. For example, if I say, I had a really busy day, you could answer, oh really? What kept you so busy? See, you're keeping the conversation alive. Let's try. I'll say the first line. You respond, I just came back from the gym. Your answer, maybe. That's great. Do you go often? I'm planning a trip to Europe this summer. Your answer, that sounds exciting. Which countries are you visiting? My friend just started a new job. Your answer, nice. What kind of job is it? This is how fluent speakers keep conversations flowing. They don't stop at one-word answers. They ask questions, they show interest, and they connect. Now, let's level up your vocabulary. At C1 level, you need to use phrases that make you sound polished. For example, instead of saying, I agree, you can say, I couldn't agree more. That's exactly how I feel. You took the words right out of my mouth. Try repeating after me. I couldn't agree more. That's exactly how I feel. You took the words right out of my mouth. Do you hear the difference? These are the kinds of phrases that make your English sound alive, not robotic. Let's add another powerful exercise. Shadowing. This time, we'll do a conversation. I'll play both roles, and you shadow me. Try to keep up with the rhythm, even if you miss a word. Ready? Person A. Hey, how's it going? You look really busy today. Person B. Yeah, I've been running around all morning. I had a meeting, then some errands, and now I'm heading to class. Person A. Wow, sounds like a full day. How are you managing it all? Person B. Honestly, it's tiring, but I'm learning to stay organized. A good cup of coffee always helps. Now let's break it down and repeat slowly. Hey, how's it going? You look really busy today. Yeah, I've been running around all morning. I had a meeting, then some errands, and now I'm heading to class. Wow, sounds like a full day. How are you managing it all? Honestly, it's tiring, but I'm learning to stay organized. A good cup of coffee always helps. Good. That's how real people speak every day, with rhythm, stress, and natural flow. Now, let's look at some advanced connectors. These are words and phrases that help your ideas sound more professional and smooth. Instead of just saying, and, or, but, try these. Moreover, on the other hand, as a matter of fact, in other words, let's practice them in sentences. I enjoy studying English. Moreover, I find that it improves my confidence in other areas of life. Learning vocabulary is important. On the other hand, practicing speaking is even more essential. I thought the movie would be boring. As a matter of fact, it was really entertaining. He didn't explain it clearly. In other words, nobody understood what he meant. Repeat them with me until they feel natural. Next, let's practice storytelling. At the C1 level, you should be able to tell a short story in English without hesitation. Let's build one together. Listen first. Last weekend, I decided to take a break from studying. I went out with some friends to a small restaurant near the beach. We laughed, shared stories, and enjoyed delicious seafood. Later, we walked along the shore and talked about our dreams for the future. It was a simple night, but it made me realize how important it is to spend time with people you care about. Now, let's repeat it in parts. Last weekend, I decided to take a break from studying. I went out with some friends to a small restaurant near the beach. We laughed, shared stories, and enjoyed delicious seafood. Later, we walked along the shore and talked about our dreams for the future. It was a simple night, but it made me realize how important it is to spend time with people you care about. Excellent. You see, this is exactly the kind of practice that helps you build confidence and fluency. Before we close part 2, here's a challenge for you. I want you to record yourself telling a short story about your last weekend, or the last time you spent time with a friend. Use the phrases we practiced. Moreover, on the other hand, and as a matter of fact, listen to yourself. Notice your rhythm, and then try again until it sounds smooth. Remember, fluency doesn't come from knowing thousands of words. It comes from using the words you already know, connecting them naturally, and practicing daily. With consistent training, you'll not only understand English, you'll live it. In the next part, we'll dive into pronunciation secrets that will make your English sound clearer and more professional. Welcome back to the C1 Advanced English Fluency Masterclass. In the last part, we practiced natural expressions, storytelling, and conversation flow. Today, in part 3, we're going to focus on pronunciation, the secret ingredient that makes your English not only correct, but also clear, confident, and powerful. Have you ever noticed that even when you know the right words, people sometimes ask you to repeat yourself? It's frustrating, isn't it? The truth is, pronunciation is not about having a perfect accent. It's about being understood easily and sounding natural. That's our goal today. Let's start with rhythm. English is a stress-timed language. That means some words are stressed strongly, while others are weak and quick. Listen carefully. I want to go to the store. Notice how want and store are stronger, while to the is weaker. This rhythm is the heartbeat of English. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. I want to go to the store. I need to finish my homework. She likes to read at night. Good. You can feel the up and down movement. Right. That's what makes English sound alive. Now let's talk about connected speech. Native speakers don't speak word by word. They connect words together. For example, instead of saying, I want to eat, you often hear, I want to eat. Or, instead of, did you see it, you hear, did ya see it? These are called reductions, and they happen all the time in daily English. Let's practice some. Repeat after me slowly, then naturally. I'm gonna call my friend. What you doing this weekend? Could you help me with this? Great. Don't worry if it feels strange. With practice, your mouth will get used to moving faster and more smoothly. Now, let's work on common sounds that learners often find difficult. One of the biggest challenges is the TH sound, like in think or this. To make it, put your tongue lightly between your teeth and push the air out. Try it. Think. This. Thank you. There are 3 things I want to say. Repeat them again, slowly, and exaggerate the sound. Excellent. This sound is key to sounding clear. Another tricky sound is the difference between L and R. For example, light and right, glass and grass, play and pray. Listen carefully and repeat. Light, right, glass, grass, play, pray. Good. Small differences like these can change meaning, so it's worth practicing them daily. Now, let's practice intonation, the rise and fall of your voice. In English, intonation shows emotion. interest, and attitude. For example, if I say, really, flat voice, it sounds bored. If I say, really, rising voice, it sounds curious. If I say, really, falling, strong voice, it sounds excited. See the difference? Intonation gives life to your words. Let's try some together. Repeat after me with the right tone. Are you serious? Surprised? That's amazing. Excited? I can't believe it. Shocked? I'm not so sure. Doubtful? Great. This is how you make your English sound real, not robotic. Next, let's do a shadowing exercise. Listen carefully and copy my rhythm and tone. Don't focus on perfection, just flow with me. Ready? Last night, I went to a concert with my friends. The music was incredible, and the crowd was full of energy. At one point, the singer invited everyone to sing along, and the entire audience joined in. It was unforgettable. Now, let's repeat it, sentence by sentence. Last night, I went to a concert with my friends. The music was incredible, and the crowd was full of energy. At one point, the singer invited everyone to sing along. The entire audience joined in. It was unforgettable. Excellent. That's how you train your ear and your tongue at the same time. Now, let's focus on clarity. When you speak English, don't rush. Many learners think that speaking fast means speaking fluently, but that's not true. Fluency is about smoothness, not speed. Speak clearly, with pauses at the right places. For example, instead of saying quickly, I went to the market and bought some fruit, say, I went to the market and bought some fruit. Pause, breathe, let the listener follow you. Let's practice. Repeat after me slowly. I went to the market and bought some fruit. She studied all night, but still felt nervous before the exam. We planned the trip carefully, so everything went smoothly. Good. Notice how natural it sounds, with pauses. Now, let's put everything together in a mini dialogue. I'll play both parts, and you repeat after me. Focus on rhythm, intonation, and clarity. Person A, hey, do you want to grab a coffee later? Person B, sure, I'd love to. What time were you thinking? Person A, how about 3 o'clock at the cafe near the library? Person B, perfect, I'll see you there. Now repeat. Hey, do you want to grab a coffee later? Sure, I'd love to. What time were you thinking? How about 3 o'clock at the cafe near the library? Perfect. I'll see you there. Great job. This is the type of real conversation you'll face every day. By practicing it slowly, with good pronunciation and rhythm, you'll prepare yourself to speak naturally in real life. Before we finish part 3, here's a quick tip. Record yourself speaking for 1 minute every day. Choose a topic your day, your plans, a story from your past, and speak out loud. Then listen to yourself. Notice your rhythm, your sounds, and your intonation. Over time, you'll hear real improvement. Remember, pronunciation is not about sounding American, British, or Australian. It's about being clear, confident, and easy to understand. That's the real goal of fluency. In the next part, we'll focus on advanced conversation skills, how to debate, express opinions, and agree or disagree politely in English. These are the skills that make you stand out at the C1 level. Welcome back to the C1 Advanced English Fluency Masterclass. In part 3, we focused on pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation. Today, in part 4, we'll take another step forward, learning how to share your opinions, agree and disagree politely, and even join debates in English. These are essential skills for advanced learners, especially if you want to sound professional and confident in any situation. Let's begin with a simple truth. Conversations are not just about answering questions. They are about sharing ideas, responding thoughtfully, and sometimes even disagreeing. But here's the key: how you disagree matters just as much as what you say. If you disagree politely, people respect you. If you disagree rudely, the conversation breaks down. So, let's learn some useful phrases for giving your opinion. Instead of always saying "I think," you can say, "In my opinion," "From my point of view," "As far as I'm concerned." If you ask me, repeat after me. In my opinion, learning English daily is the fastest way to improve. From my point of view, traveling helps you understand different cultures. As far as I'm concerned, practice is more important than theory. If you ask me, podcasts are a great tool for learning English. Good. These phrases give variety and make you sound more advanced. Now, let's practice agreeing with someone. If a friend says, "I think English is easier to learn when you practice speaking every day," you can agree in different ways. "I couldn't agree more. That's exactly how I feel." "You're absolutely right. I feel the same way." Let's practice together. Repeat after me. "I couldn't agree more. That's exactly how I feel." "You're absolutely right. I feel the same way." Excellent. Now, what if you disagree? At the C1 level, you need to do it politely. You don't want to sound rude. Instead of saying, "You're wrong," you can say, "I see your point, but I have a different perspective. That's an interesting idea, but I'm not sure I agree. I understand what you mean. However, I think differently." You might be right, but have you considered this? Let's repeat these together. "I see your point, but I have a different perspective. That's an interesting idea, but I'm not sure I agree. I understand what you mean. However, I think differently." You might be right, but have you considered this? Do you hear the difference? You're disagreeing, but in a respectful and natural way. This is how fluent speakers build healthy discussions. Let's move on to debate language. In debates, you often need to defend your opinion strongly. Here are some powerful phrases you can use. "The main reason I believe this is," "the evidence clearly shows that," "one of the strongest arguments in favor of this is," "on the contrary, we should consider." Repeat with me. "The main reason I believe this is practice builds fluency. The evidence clearly shows that daily speaking improves confidence." One of the strongest arguments in favor of podcasts is that they are easy to access. On the contrary, we should consider the disadvantages too. Very good. These phrases are especially useful in professional or academic discussions. Now, let's put this into a short role play. I'll play both speakers, and you can repeat after me. Person A: "I think online learning is more effective than traditional classrooms." Person B: "That's an interesting idea, but I'm not sure I agree. In my opinion, face-to-face interaction is more powerful." Person A: "I see your point, but the evidence shows that online learning offers more flexibility and access to resources." Person B: "That's true, but at the same time, students need human connection and real interaction to stay motivated." Now, let's break it down sentence by sentence. Repeat after me slowly. "I think online learning is more effective than traditional classrooms." That's an interesting idea, but I'm not sure I agree. In my opinion, face-to-face interaction is more powerful. I see your point, but the evidence shows that online learning offers more flexibility and access to resources. That's true, but at the same time, students need human connection and real interaction to stay motivated. Excellent. That's a natural debate in English. Notice how polite disagreement leads to a rich discussion, not an argument. Now, let's practice expressing strong agreement or disagreement. At times, you may want to show passion. Here are some stronger phrases. Absolutely. Without a doubt, I strongly believe that. I completely disagree with that idea. Repeat with me. Absolutely. Without a doubt, I strongly believe that practice is more important than memorization. I completely disagree with that idea. Great. These phrases give energy and confidence to your speech. Next, let's do a fluency drill. I'll give you a topic, and I want you to practice responding with your opinion. Here's the topic. Social media is good for learning English. You could say, in my opinion, social media is useful for language learning because it gives you real-life examples. Or you could say, I see your point, but I think social media can be distracting, so it's not always effective. Now, your turn. Take a few seconds and give your own answer out loud. Remember, don't just think it, say it. Good. That's how you train your speaking brain. Before we end part 4, let's review what we learned today. How to give your opinion with variety. How to agree politely and naturally. How to disagree respectfully and clearly. How to use debate language to sound professional. These skills are essential if you want to participate in discussions at work, in school, or even just with friends. The more you practice, the more natural you'll sound. In the next part, part 5, we'll focus on storytelling at an advanced level, how to tell stories with emotion, detail, and flow, so that people don't just listen to you, they feel connected to you. Welcome back to the C1 Advanced English Fluency Masterclass. In the last lesson, we practiced sharing opinions, agreeing and disagreeing, and even using debate language. Today, in part 5, we are going to focus on one of the most powerful tools for fluency: storytelling. Why storytelling? Because humans are naturally drawn to stories. Think about it. Since childhood, we've learned about the world through stories, whether from books, movies, or conversations with family and friends. If you want people to really listen to you, you need to learn how to tell stories in English with clarity, emotion, and detail. So let's start simple. When you tell a story, it usually has 3 parts: the beginning, the middle, and the end. The beginning sets the scene, the middle builds the action, and the end gives the conclusion. Listen to this short story. Last month, I went hiking with some friends in the mountains. The weather was perfect at first, sunny and cool. But halfway through the hike, dark clouds appeared, and soon it started to rain heavily. We were soaked, but instead of being upset, we laughed, ran through the rain, and finally found shelter under some trees. By the time we reached the end of the trail, the sun came out again, and we felt like we had survived an adventure together. Did you notice the structure? Beginning, the hike starts; middle, the problem, the rain; end, resolution, the adventure. This is how you keep your listener engaged. Let's practice together. Repeat after me in parts. Last month, I went hiking with some friends in the mountains. The weather was perfect at first, sunny and cool. But halfway through the hike, dark clouds appeared, and soon it started to rain heavily. We were soaked, but instead of being upset, we laughed, ran through the rain, and finally found shelter under some trees. By the time we reached the end of the trail, the sun came out again, and we felt like we had survived an adventure together. Excellent. That's how a simple story can come alive. Now, let's talk about adding emotion. At the C1 level, your stories should not just explain events. They should make the listener feel something. For example, instead of saying, "I was scared," you can say, "My heart was racing, and I could feel my hands shaking." Instead of, "I was happy," you can say, "A huge smile spread across my face, and I couldn't stop laughing." Let's practice these emotional expressions. Repeat after me. My heart was racing, and I could feel my hands shaking. A huge smile spread across my face, and I couldn't stop laughing. Very good. These kinds of details make your English stories memorable. Now, let's practice another short story, this time with more emotion. 2 weeks ago, I had to give a presentation at work. At first, I was nervous. My heart was racing, and my palms were sweaty. But as I started speaking, I saw people nodding and smiling. Slowly, I felt more confident. By the end, I was actually enjoying myself. And when my boss said, "Great job," I felt proud and relieved. Let's break it down and repeat. 2 weeks ago, I had to give a presentation at work. At first, I was nervous. My heart was racing, and my palms were sweaty. But as I started speaking, I saw people nodding and smiling. Slowly, I felt more confident. By the end, I was actually enjoying myself. And when my boss said, "Great job," I felt proud and relieved. Excellent. Notice how the story paints a picture of emotions, nervousness turning into confidence. That's what advanced storytelling does. Now, let's add connectors to make your stories smooth. Here are some useful ones. At first, suddenly, after a while, in the end. Let's practice them in sentences. At first, I thought the exam would be difficult. Suddenly, the power went out. After a while, everyone started laughing. In the end, it turned out to be a great day. Good. These connectors help your stories flow naturally. Let's try a little challenge. I'll start a story, and you finish it. Listen. At first, everything seemed normal. I was walking home from work, enjoying the evening air. Suddenly, I heard a loud noise behind me. Now, pause and imagine what happened. Did someone call your name? Was there an accident? Did you meet an old friend? Take a few seconds and say your version of the ending out loud. Don't worry about mistakes. Just speak. That's how you practice creativity in English. Now, let's move into advanced storytelling for connection. At C1 level, it's not only about telling what happened, it's about sharing why it matters to you. For example, I'll never forget the time I got lost in a foreign city. At first, I was scared, but then I realized it was a chance to explore on my own. That experience taught me to be brave and trust myself. Notice how the story ends with a lesson. This gives your story meaning. Let's practice. I'll never forget the time I got lost in a foreign city. At first, I was scared, but then I realized it was a chance to explore on my own. That experience taught me to be brave and trust myself. Great. When you tell stories like this, people don't just hear your words, they connect with your emotions and your growth. Before we finish today, I want to give you a storytelling exercise. Tonight, tell yourself a 1-minute story about something that happened recently. Use 3 parts: beginning, middle, end. Use emotional details and add connectors like suddenly, after a while, and in the end. Record yourself. Listen, and then tell it again more smoothly. This is one of the best ways to train fluency at home. Remember, stories are the bridge between language and human connection. The more you practice storytelling, the more natural your English will feel, and the more people will want to listen to you. In the next part, Part 6, we'll focus on vocabulary expansion, how to choose powerful words and expressions to make your English sound rich and advanced without being complicated. Welcome back to the C1 Advanced English Fluency Masterclass. In the last lesson, we focused on storytelling, how to share experiences with emotion, detail, and meaning. In Part 6, we're going to take your English even further by expanding your vocabulary. Now, let's be clear. At the C1 level, vocabulary is not just about knowing difficult words. It's about choosing the right word at the right time. Advanced speakers don't use complicated words in every sentence. Instead, they use precise words, natural collocations, and powerful expressions that make their English sound fluent and authentic. Let's start with precision. For example, instead of saying very big, you can say enormous. Instead of very small, you can say tiny. Instead of very tired, you can say exhausted. These stronger words make your English sharper and more expressive. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Enormous, tiny, exhausted. Now, let's put them into sentences. The house was enormous, almost like a castle. She held a tiny puppy in her hands. After working all day, I felt absolutely exhausted. Excellent. Notice how these words create a clearer picture than just big, small, or tired. Next, let's talk about collocations. A collocation is when 2 or more words naturally go together. For example, make a decision, not do a decision. A strong coffee, not powerful coffee. Heavy rain, not strong rain. When you use collocations correctly, you sound much more natural. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Make a decision. Strong coffee. Heavy rain. Now in sentences, I need more time to make a decision. I can't start my day without strong coffee. The forecast said there will be heavy rain tomorrow. Good. These are small details, but they make a big difference in fluency. Now, let's expand your range of vocabulary for emotions. Many learners repeat the same basic words: happy, sad, angry, good, bad. But in advanced English, you have many choices. Let's look at some. Instead of happy, you could say delighted, thrilled, or overjoyed. Instead of sad, you could say heartbroken, miserable, or down. Instead of angry, you could say frustrated, furious, or annoyed. Repeat after me. Delighted, thrilled, overjoyed, heartbroken, miserable, down, frustrated, furious, annoyed. Excellent. Now, let's put some into sentences. I was delighted to hear the good news. She was thrilled when she got the job. They were overjoyed at the birth of their child. He felt heartbroken after the breakup. The weather made me miserable all week. Lately, I've been feeling a bit down. I get frustrated when the internet is slow. She was absolutely furious about the mistake. He looked annoyed. when the meeting ran late. Great. These words add color and emotion to your English. Now, let's practice advanced vocabulary for opinions. At the C1 level, you don't just say, I think. You can say, I believe. I would argue that. It seems to me that. In my view. From my perspective. Let's repeat. I believe. I would argue that. It seems to me that. In my view. From my perspective. Now in sentences, I believe this is the best solution. I would argue that technology has improved our lives. It seems to me that people are more connected than ever. In my view, education is the key to success. From my perspective, teamwork is more important than competition. Good. Using a variety of expressions shows confidence and fluency. Next, let's talk about powerful verbs. Instead of always using basic verbs like get, do, or make, advanced speakers choose stronger verbs. For example, instead of get better, say improve. Instead of do research, say conduct research. Instead of make progress, say advance. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Improve. Conduct research. Advance. Now in sentences. My English has improved a lot this year. The scientists conducted research on climate change. The company has advanced quickly in the market. Excellent. These stronger verbs make you sound more academic and professional. Now, let's add some idiomatic expressions. Idioms are a natural part of English, but you should use them carefully. Let's practice 3 useful ones. Break the ice. To make people feel comfortable in a new situation. Hit the nail on the head. To describe something exactly right. Keep an eye on something. To watch carefully. Repeat after me. Break the ice. Hit the nail on the head. Keep an eye on something. Now in sentences. She told a funny joke to break the ice at the meeting. Your analysis really hit the nail on the head. Can you keep an eye on my bag while I go to the restroom? Great. Idioms like these make your English sound more natural and conversational. Finally, let's practice upgrading basic sentences. For example, instead of, I was very happy, say, I was absolutely thrilled. Instead of, it rained a lot, you say, there was heavy rain all night. Instead of, I think it's a good idea, say, in my view, it's an excellent idea. Let's repeat these upgraded sentences. I was absolutely thrilled. There was heavy rain all night. In my view, it's an excellent idea. Perfect. This is how you level up your English by replacing simple, repetitive phrases with richer, more precise language. Before we finish today, I have a challenge for you. Choose 3 words or expressions from today's lesson and use them in your own short story or daily conversation. Record yourself. Listen. And check if your speech sounds more natural and powerful. Remember, advanced vocabulary is not about memorizing a dictionary. It's about using words wisely, with precision and natural flow. When you master this skill, your English will not only sound fluent, it will shine. In the next part, Part 7, we'll focus on intonation, rhythm, and stress the music of English. This is what makes native speakers sound smooth and confident, and it's the secret to making your English truly stand out. Welcome back to the C1 Advanced English Fluency Masterclass. In Part 6, we focused on expanding your vocabulary, learning precise words, collocations, and expressions that make your English sound more natural. Today, in Part 7, we're going to talk about something even more important, the music of English. When you listen to a native English speaker, you might notice that it's not just about the words. It's about how they say the words. Their voice goes up and down. Some words are stressed more than others. Sentences flow with a rhythm, almost like a song. This is called intonation, rhythm, and stress. If you master this, you will sound confident, fluent, and natural, even if your grammar isn't perfect. So let's dive in. First, let's talk about word stress. In English, every word with more than one syllable has one main stressed syllable. For example, table, computer, relax. Repeat after me. Table, computer, relax. Good. If you stress the wrong syllable, the word may sound strange or confusing. For example, if you say computer with stress on the second syllable, it sounds natural. But if you say computer, it sounds unusual. Now, let's practice with a few more words. Development, economy, result. Repeat after me. Development, economy, result. Excellent. Mastering word stress makes your pronunciation much clearer. Next, let's talk about sentence stress. In English, not all words in a sentence are equally important. We stress the content words like nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. We don't stress the function words like the, of, and, to. For example, in the sentence, I want to buy a new computer, the stressed words are want, buy, new, and computer. Repeat after me. I want to buy a new computer. Good. Notice how the sentence has a rhythm. Some words are strong, and others are weak. Let's try another. She is going to meet her best friend. The stressed words are going, meet, best, friend. Repeat after me. She is going to meet her best friend. Perfect. This rhythm makes English sound smooth and natural. Now, let's focus on intonation. Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice. It shows emotion, attitude, and meaning. For example, when you ask a yes or no question, your voice usually rises at the end. Are you ready? Repeat after me. Are you ready? When you ask a wide question like what, where, or how, your voice usually falls at the end. Where are you going? Repeat after me. Where are you going? Good. Intonation is not just about grammar. It also expresses emotion. For example, say the sentence, I can't believe it. Now, let's try with different intonations. Excited, I can't believe it. Disappointed, I can't believe it. Angry, I can't believe it. Same words, different feelings. That's the power of intonation. Now, let's practice contrastive stress. This is when you stress a specific word to change the meaning of a sentence. For example, I didn't say he stole the money. Depending on which word you stress, the meaning changes. I didn't say he stole the money. Someone else said it. I didn't say he stole the money. I might have written it. I didn't say he stole the money. I said someone else stole it. I didn't say he stole the money. Maybe he borrowed it. I didn't say he stole the money. He stole something else. Not the money. Repeat after me, stressing the different words. Notice how the meaning shifts each time. Great. This is a very advanced skill, and it will make you sound like a native speaker. Now let's practice chunking. Native speakers don't speak word by word. They speak in chunks or groups of words. This helps create rhythm and makes speech easier to follow. For example, Instead of saying each word separately, I am going to the store to buy some food. You divide it into chunks. I'm going to the store to buy some food. Repeat after me. I'm going to the store to buy some food. Good. Chunking also helps you breathe naturally and keep a steady rhythm. Now, let's practice with a longer sentence. Learning English takes time and regular practice, but it's worth it. Repeat after me. Learning English takes time and regular practice, but it's worth it. Excellent. Before we finish today, let's combine everything. Listen to this short dialogue. Are you ready for the meeting? Yes, I'm really excited. Good. I believe it's going to be a success. I hope so. Let's give it our best effort. Notice the word stress, the sentence stress, the rising and falling intonation, and the rhythm of the chunks. That's the music of English. Now, it's your turn. Record yourself reading this dialogue. Focus on stress, rhythm, and intonation. Compare your recording to a native speaker and practice until it feels natural. Remember, fluency is not only about the words you choose, it's about how you say them. When you master the music of English, people will listen to you more easily, understand you more clearly, and feel more connected to what you're saying. In the next part, Part 8, we're going to put everything together by practicing real-life conversations. You'll learn how to combine vocabulary, storytelling, intonation, and rhythm to speak naturally and confidently in everyday situations. Welcome back to the C1 Advanced English Fluency Masterclass. In the last lesson, we explored the music of English intonation, rhythm, and stress. Now, in Part 8, it's time to bring everything together in real-life conversations. Fluency is not just about grammar rules or vocabulary lists. It's about using English naturally in daily interactions, asking questions, giving opinions, telling stories, and responding to others. In this lesson, we'll practice conversations you are likely to have in real life. Let's start with a casual conversation. Imagine you meet a friend after a long time. Hey, it's been ages. How have you been? I've been good. Thanks. I've been working a lot, but things are going well. How about you? Not too bad. I recently started a new job, so it's been exciting but also challenging. That sounds great. What kind of work are you doing? I'm working in digital marketing. There's a lot to learn, but I'm really enjoying it. Now, let's practice this dialogue together. Pay attention to the rhythm and stress. Repeat after me, line by line. Hey, it's been ages. How have you been? I've been good. Thanks. I've been working a lot, but things are going well. How about you? Not too bad. I recently started a new job, so it's been exciting, but also challenging. That sounds great. What kind of work are you doing? I'm working in digital marketing. There's a lot to learn, but I'm really enjoying it. Excellent. This is how native speakers connect by asking questions, showing interest, and sharing experiences. Now let's move to a work-related conversation. Excuse me, could you help me understand this report? Sure. What part are you having trouble with? I don't quite understand the sales figures for last quarter. No problem. Basically, sales dropped in July, but they picked up again in August and September. I see. That makes sense now. Thanks for explaining. Anytime. Let me know if you need more help. Repeat after me. Excuse me. Could you help me understand this report? Sure. What part are you having trouble with? I don't quite understand the sales figures for last quarter. No problem. Basically, Sales dropped in July, but they picked up again in August and September. I see. That makes sense now. Thanks for explaining. Anytime. Let me know if you need more help. Good. Notice the polite language here. Excuse me, could you help me? Thanks for explaining. These expressions make your English sound respectful and professional. Now, let's practice a conversation for giving opinions. What do you think about working from home? In my view, it's very convenient. It saves time and money, and I feel more productive. That's true, but sometimes I miss seeing my colleagues in person. I would argue that we can still connect through video calls, but yes, face-to-face contact is valuable, so maybe a mix of both is the best option. Exactly. A hybrid model could be ideal. Repeat after me. What do you think about working from home? In my view, it's very convenient. It saves time and money, and I feel more productive. That's true, but sometimes I miss seeing my colleagues in person. I would argue that we can still connect through video calls, but yes, face-to-face contact is valuable, so maybe a mix of both is the best option. Exactly. A hybrid model could be ideal. Excellent. This type of conversation helps you practice expressing opinions, agreeing, and disagreeing politely, an important skill for advanced English learners. Now let's move to a storytelling practice. Imagine you are telling a friend about an experience you had. I'll never forget the time I traveled to New York for the first time. I was so excited because I had always dreamed of visiting the city. On my first day, I got lost in the subway, but instead of panicking, I asked for help. A kind stranger showed me the right direction, and we ended up chatting for a while. That small moment made me realize how friendly people can be. It turned into one of the best memories of my trip. Now repeat after me in chunks. I'll never forget the time I traveled to New York for the first time. I was so excited because I had always dreamed of visiting the city. On my first day, I got lost in the subway, but instead of panicking, I asked for help. A kind stranger showed me the right direction, and we ended up chatting for a while. That small moment made me realize how friendly people can be. It turned into one of the best memories of my trip. Excellent. Notice how the story uses past tense, descriptive vocabulary, and intonation to create interest. Now, let's practice a short debate. Style conversation. Do you think technology makes life easier or more complicated? From my perspective, it definitely makes life easier. We have access to information instantly and can connect with anyone in the world. That's true, but sometimes I feel technology makes people distracted and dependent. Yes, I see your point. Maybe it's not about technology itself, but how people use it. Exactly. It's a tool, and we need to use it wisely. Repeat after me. Do you think technology makes life easier or more complicated? From my perspective, it definitely makes life easier. We have access to information instantly and can connect with anyone in the world. That's true, but sometimes I feel technology makes people distracted and dependent. Yes, I see your point. Maybe it's not about technology itself, but how people use it. Exactly. It's a tool, and we need to use it wisely. Excellent work. This shows you can handle real discussions in English, sharing ideas, and responding thoughtfully. Finally, here's a practice challenge for you. Choose one of the conversations from today: casual, work-related, opinion, storytelling, or debate, and record yourself speaking both parts. Pay attention to stress, rhythm, intonation, and vocabulary. Then listen to your recording and ask yourself, does it sound natural? Does it flow smoothly? Where can you improve? Remember, fluency comes from practice, not just theory. The more you practice conversations, the more natural your English will become. In the next part, Part 9, we'll focus on building confidence in speaking English in public and formal situations. This will help you shine in meetings, presentations, and interviews. Welcome back to the C1 Advanced English Fluency Masterclass. In Part 8, we practiced real-life conversations, casual chats, work-related talks, and storytelling. Now, in Part 9, we're going to take things to the next level, building confidence when speaking in public and using formal English. Speaking English with friends is one thing. Speaking English in front of a group, in a meeting, or during an interview is another challenge. Many learners feel nervous, their heart races, their hands shake, and their mind goes blank. But here's the secret. Confidence is not about never feeling nervous. Confidence is about practicing strategies so that you sound calm, clear, and professional, even if you're a little afraid inside. Let's begin with preparation. Confident speakers prepare their key points in advance. If you're giving a presentation, don't try to memorize every word. Instead, prepare a structure, introduction, main points, conclusion. For example, introduction, good morning, everyone. Today, I'll be talking about the impact of social media on communication. Main point 1. Social media connects people worldwide. Main point 2. Social media changes how we communicate. Main point 3. Social media has both benefits and risks. Conclusion. In conclusion, social media is powerful, but we must use it wisely. Repeat after me. Good morning, everyone. Today, I'll be talking about the impact of social media on communication. In conclusion, social media is powerful, but we must use it wisely. Excellent. This structure helps you stay calm and organized. Now let's focus on formal language. In formal situations, avoid slang or casual phrases. Instead of saying hi guys, say good morning, everyone. Instead of, I think this is cool, say I believe this is a valuable idea. Here are some useful formal phrases. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I would like to highlight 3 important points. Let me provide an example to illustrate this. In conclusion, I would like to emphasize. Repeat after me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I would like to highlight 3 important points. Let me provide an example to illustrate this. In conclusion, I would like to emphasize. Very good. These expressions will make you sound professional and polite. Now, let's talk about body language and voice. When speaking in public, your words are important, but so are your posture, gestures, and tone of voice. Stand tall, make eye contact, and speak with energy. Even if you're nervous, act confident, and your audience will believe you. Practice this sentence with confidence. I am excited to share my ideas with you today. Say it again, but louder and slower. With a smile. I am excited to share my ideas with you today. Excellent. Feel the difference. Your voice is one of your strongest tools. Now let's practice a formal meeting dialogue. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to start today's meeting by reviewing last quarter's results. Thank you. Could you please explain the main challenges we faced? Of course, the biggest challenge was adapting to new regulations, but our team handled it well. That's good to hear. What are the key priorities for next quarter? Our priorities are increasing customer engagement and improving product quality. Repeat after me, line by line. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to start today's meeting by reviewing last quarter's results. Thank you. Could you please explain the main challenges we faced? Of course, the biggest challenge was adapting to new regulations, but our team handled it well. That's good to hear. What are the key priorities for next quarter? Our priorities are increasing customer engagement and improving product quality. Excellent. Notice the polite, clear, and professional tone. Now let's practice an interview situation. Question: can you tell me about yourself? Answer: certainly. My name is Anna, and I have over 5 years of experience in digital marketing. In my previous role, I led a team that successfully increased online sales by 20%. I'm passionate about using creativity and data to solve business problems, and I'm excited about the opportunity to contribute to your company. Repeat after me in chunks. Certainly. My name is Anna, and I have over 5 years of experience in digital marketing. In my previous role, I led a team that successfully increased online sales by 20%. I'm passionate about using creativity and data to solve business problems. I'm excited about the opportunity to contribute to your company. Very good. This is how you make a strong, confident impression in an interview. Now, let's practice handling difficult questions. Sometimes, you don't know the answer right away. Instead of freezing, use strategies like, "That's an interesting question. Let me think for a moment. I don't have the exact answer right now, but I can find out and get back to you." From my perspective, one possible solution is, repeat after me, "That's an interesting question. Let me think for a moment. I don't have the exact answer right now, but I can find out and get back to you." From my perspective, one possible solution is, "Good." These expressions give you time to think while still sounding professional. Finally, let's practice a mini presentation. I'll give you an example. Then you can try creating your own. Good morning, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk about the importance of lifelong learning. In today's fast-changing world, skills become outdated quickly. Lifelong learning allows us to stay relevant, grow professionally, and discover new opportunities. For example, many professionals are now learning artificial intelligence to stay competitive. In conclusion, lifelong learning is not optional. It's essential for success. Now, let's break it into chunks and repeat. Good morning, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk about the importance of lifelong learning. In today's fast-changing world, skills become outdated quickly. Lifelong learning allows us to stay relevant, grow professionally, and discover new opportunities. For example, many professionals are now learning artificial intelligence to stay competitive. In conclusion, lifelong learning is not optional. It's essential for success. Excellent! This is the style of English that will help you shine in public speaking situations. Before we finish, here's your challenge. Write a short presentation of about 1 minute on a topic you care about. Use the structure we practiced: introduction, main points, conclusion. Then, record yourself delivering it. Focus on formal expressions, clear pronunciation, and confident intonation. Remember, Confidence is not about being perfect. It's about being prepared, speaking clearly, and believing in yourself. With practice, you will become not only a fluent English speaker, but also a powerful communicator. In the next part, Part 10, we will conclude the masterclass with a final review and advanced fluency strategies you can continue to use every day. Welcome back to EchoMind English, and congratulations! You've reached Part 10 of the C1 Advanced English Fluency Masterclass. This is the final step of our journey together. And today, we'll bring everything together. We'll review the key lessons from the previous parts, and I'll share advanced strategies to help you continue improving your fluency. Long after this masterclass ends, take a moment to be proud of yourself. Completing a full masterclass like this requires dedication, focus, and consistency. You've already proven that you have what it takes to achieve fluency. Now, let's make sure your progress keeps growing. First, let's review the journey. In Part 1, we focused on pronunciation, clear sounds, natural rhythm, and intonation. In Part 2, we built advanced vocabulary for everyday conversations. In Part 3, we explored idioms and expressions that make you sound more natural. In Part 4, we learned strategies for listening to fast native speech. In Part 5, we practiced storytelling to become more engaging speakers. In Part 6, we worked on debating skills and expressing opinions with confidence. In Part 7, we mastered professional English for the workplace. In Part 8, we practiced real-life conversations in different settings. In Part 9, we focused on public speaking, presentations, and interviews. Now here we are in Part 10. Putting it all together, let's start with a quick fluency warm-up. I'll say some sentences, and you repeat them with confidence. I can communicate clearly in English. I have the skills to express myself in any situation. I am confident, fluent, and always improving. Excellent. These affirmations remind you that fluency is not just about grammar and vocabulary. It's also about mindset. Now, let's talk about advanced strategies for continuous fluency. 1. Daily English immersion. The best way to keep improving is to surround yourself with English every day. Read articles, listen to podcasts, watch TV shows, or talk to friends in English. Even 15 minutes a day makes a huge difference. For example, when you watch a TV show, don't just watch passively. Pause and repeat lines out loud. Copy the intonation and rhythm. This is called shadowing, and it's one of the most powerful techniques to sound like a native speaker. Repeat after me. Shadowing helps me sound more natural in English. 2. Active vocabulary building. At C1 level, you already know thousands of words, but fluency is about using them quickly and naturally. Choose 5 new advanced words or idioms each week. Write them in sentences. Use them in conversations. Review them until they become part of your active vocabulary. Let's practice a few now. Meticulous, meaning very careful and precise. Break through a significant discovery or achievement. To weigh the pros and cons. To consider advantages and disadvantages. Repeat after me. She is meticulous in her research. The new medicine is a major breakthrough. Before making a decision, I always weigh the pros and cons. Excellent. 3. Record and review yourself. One of the most effective ways to improve is to record yourself speaking. Choose a topic. Speak for 2 minutes. Then listen. Pay attention to pronunciation, vocabulary, and intonation. Over time, you'll hear your progress and notice areas to improve. Repeat after me. Recording myself helps me become a better speaker. Cos. Think in English. Don't translate in your head. Start thinking directly in English. For example, when you wake up, describe your morning in English. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making coffee. I'm planning my day. This trains your brain to use English naturally. Without hesitation, repeat after me. I train my brain to think in English. Found. Push beyond your comfort zone. Fluency grows when you challenge yourself, join discussions, debate difficult topics, give mini presentations, or even teach others something in English. Teaching is a powerful way to strengthen your own skills. Repeat after me. Every challenge makes my English stronger. Now, let's practice a final advanced dialogue. In my opinion, lifelong learning is essential in today's world. I completely agree. Technology is advancing so quickly that we must constantly adapt. Exactly. For instance, learning artificial intelligence is now important for professionals in many fields. That's true. I believe the key is to stay curious and open-minded. Repeat after me, line by line. In my opinion, lifelong learning is essential in today's world. I completely agree. Technology is advancing so quickly that we must constantly adapt. Exactly. For instance, learning artificial intelligence is now important for professionals in many fields. That's true. I believe the key is to stay curious and open-minded. Very well done. Now, let's practice one last mini presentation together. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'd like to share my thoughts on global communication. English has become the international language of business, education, and technology. This gives us incredible opportunities to connect across cultures. However, fluency is not only about grammar, it's about listening, empathy, and confidence. In conclusion, learning English is not just about mastering a language. It's about building bridges between people all over the world. Repeat after me in chunks. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'd like to share my thoughts on global communication. English has become the international language of business, education, and technology. This gives us incredible opportunities to connect across cultures. However, fluency is not only about grammar, it's about listening, empathy, and confidence. In conclusion, learning English is not just about mastering a language. It's about building bridges between people all over the world. Excellent! That's the kind of advanced communication skill that will set you apart. Before we close, here's your final challenge. Write and deliver a 2-minute presentation in English about a topic that matters to you. Use formal expressions, advanced vocabulary, and confident intonation. Record yourself, listen, and improve with each attempt. This will prepare you for real-life situations where English fluency is essential. Finally, remember this: fluency is a journey, not a destination. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to keep moving forward. Every conversation, every new word, every practice session is a step closer to mastery. I want to thank you for joining me on this 10-part masterclass. You've learned, practiced, and grown so much. Keep going, stay motivated, and continue using these strategies every day. This is EchoMind English, and I believe in your ability to speak English with confidence, clarity, and impact. Congratulations, you are now ready to speak English at an advanced level. I hope this lesson helped you feel more confident with your English. And I want to thank you for spending this time with me. It shows your dedication and your commitment to improving step by step. Before we finish, don't forget to subscribe to EchoMind English and press the bell icon so you never miss a lesson that can help you grow your fluency. We upload new English learning videos regularly, and each one is designed to help you practice in a real and natural way. So, keep practicing, stay positive, and believe in yourself. You are on your way to becoming a confident English speaker. Thank you again for joining me today. I'm Emma, and I'll see you in the next lesson.